The royal security asked, "Where is the princess?" Diana was missing. Midnight, alone, in dangerous streets. They found her in homeless shelters. "I just wanted to help," she said. She did this for years. Nobody knew. Before we reveal Diana's secret nighttime missions, please subscribe to the Diana Stories and hit the like button. This story will change how you see Diana forever. The Secret Missions. Throughout the 1990s, Princess Diana had a secret. Once or twice a week, late at night when the world thought she was safely in Kensington Palace, Diana would slip out unnoticed. She'd wear a wig, dress in casual clothes, and disappear into the darkness of London's streets. Her destination? Homeless shelters in some of London's most dangerous neighborhoods. Diana would spend hours with homeless people, talking, listening, serving food, offering comfort. No cameras, no press, no royal protocol. Just Diana and people society had forgotten. This wasn't a one-time publicity stunt. Diana did this for years, consistently, privately. Most of the world only learned about these visits after her death, when friends and shelter workers finally shared what Diana had kept secret. How it started. Diana's interest in homelessness began in the late 1980s. She had become patron of Centrepoint, a charity helping homeless young people. During official visits, Diana met teenagers and young adults living on the streets. Their stories affected her deeply. But official royal visits felt inadequate to Diana. They were formal, brief, surrounded by cameras and officials. Diana couldn't have real conversations or truly understand these people's lives. Everything was stage-managed and sanitized. Diana wanted more. She wanted to understand homelessness beyond the official presentations and prepared speeches. She wanted to meet homeless people as human beings, not as photo opportunities. And she wanted to help in ways that felt real and meaningful, not ceremonial. So Diana approached Cardinal Basil Hume, a Catholic leader heavily involved in homeless services. "I want to visit shelters privately," she told him. "No cameras, no publicity. Can you help me?" Cardinal Hume was surprised but agreed. He understood that Diana's fame made normal charitable work nearly impossible. If she wanted to make a real difference, it would have to be done in secret. The operation. The secret visits required careful planning. Diana couldn't just walk into homeless shelters, even in disguise. Her face was too famous. The operation involved trusted friends, shelter staff sworn to secrecy, and careful timing. Diana would typically go out after 11 p.m., when media attention had died down for the night. She'd wear a wig, sometimes blonde, sometimes brunette, and dress in ordinary jeans and sweaters. Without her usual makeup and elegant clothes, Diana looked surprisingly normal. A small group of trusted friends helped. They'd drive Diana to shelters, accompany her inside, and ensure her safety without drawing attention. The shelter staff would be informed in advance, but sworn to absolute secrecy. No photographs, no press releases, no publicity of any kind. Diana would enter through back doors or side entrances. Once inside, she'd spend 2 to 3 hours with homeless residents. She'd help serve food, sit with people, listen to their stories, and offer what comfort she could. What Diana did. During these visits, Diana wasn't Princess Diana. She was just Diana, a woman who cared and wanted to help. She would sit on floors or at tables with homeless people and talk to them as equals. She asked about their lives, their struggles, how they ended up on the streets. Diana didn't lecture or preach. She listened. Homeless people who met her during these visits later said she had an incredible gift for making them feel seen and valued. She looked them in the eyes, held their hands, and treated them with dignity many had lost long ago. Diana helped serve meals, sitting beside people as they ate and chatting with them. She'd ask about their day, their hopes, whether they had family. Simple questions, but asked with genuine interest and compassion. Sometimes Diana would encounter people dealing with addiction, mental illness, or trauma. She didn't shy away from these difficult realities. She would sit with people who were struggling, offer comfort, and sometimes just be present with them in their pain. The risk. These visits weren't without danger. Homeless shelters in 1990s London were often in rough neighborhoods. Royal security officials would have been horrified if they'd known. Diana was putting herself at risk, going into unpredictable situations without proper protection. But Diana felt the risk was worth it. These were human beings who needed help, and she had the ability to provide comfort and attention. There were moments when the risk became real. Once, Diana encountered someone who recognized her despite the disguise and wig. The person was shocked, but understanding Diana wanted privacy, kept the secret. On another occasion, Diana was in a shelter when a fight broke out nearby. She remained calm and stayed to help staff de-escalate the situation. But Diana never stopped making these visits. The potential danger didn't deter her. In fact, it probably reinforced her commitment. If these visits felt risky for her for a few hours, imagine living this reality every day. Bringing William. Perhaps most remarkably, Diana brought William with her on some of these visits. When William was in his early teens, Diana took him to homeless shelters to meet people living on the streets. This was revolutionary royal parenting. Royal children were typically sheltered from harsh realities, presented with sanitized versions of poverty and suffering. Diana rejected this approach. She wanted William to understand real life, real struggles, real people beyond the palace walls. William later spoke about these experiences. He said his mother wanted him and Harry to understand that not everyone lived with privilege and comfort. She wanted them to see homelessness not as an abstract issue, but as real people with real stories. One visit made a particular impression. Diana introduced William to a young man not much older than him who was living in a shelter. They talked about their lives, William about school and hobbies, the young man about how he ended up homeless. The contrast was stark but humanizing. Diana told William, "These people aren't different from you. They've had bad luck, made mistakes, or faced circumstances you haven't, but they're human beings who deserve respect and kindness." This lesson stuck with William. Today, he continues his mother's work with homeless charities and has spoken about how those childhood visits shaped his understanding of his role and responsibilities. Keeping the secret. The most remarkable thing about Diana's homeless shelter visits was how successfully the secret was kept. In an era when Diana couldn't go anywhere without being photographed, she managed to maintain these private missions for years. The people who knew, Cardinal Hume, a few trusted friends, shelter staff, and the homeless people themselves, kept Diana's confidence. They understood that publicity would ruin everything. The visits worked because they were private and real, not performative. Paul Burrell, Diana's butler, was one of the few who knew. He later described Diana returning to Kensington Palace after these visits, sometimes at 2 or 3 a.m., emotionally drained but fulfilled. Diana would tell him about the people she'd met, their stories, the small ways she'd been able to help. Diana never spoke publicly about these visits while alive. She didn't use them for positive publicity or to burnish her image. That wasn't the point. The point was genuine human connection and real help, not PR. After Diana's death, the full extent of Diana's secret homeless shelter visits only emerged after her death. Cardinal Hume spoke about them publicly, wanting people to know about this side of Diana's charity work. Shelter workers shared their experiences. Homeless people who had met Diana came forward with their stories. The revelation moved many people deeply. Here was Diana at her best, using her privilege and freedom not for glamour or glory, but for genuine service. She could have done anything with her late nights, attended parties, relaxed at home, pursued her own interests. Instead, she chose to spend them with society's most forgotten people. The stories that emerged were touching. A homeless woman described Diana sitting with her for an hour, holding her hand while she cried about her children being taken away. A young man talked about Diana encouraging him to get clean and helping connect him with treatment resources. A shelter worker described Diana washing dishes late into the night, refusing special treatment. The legacy. Diana's secret visits to homeless shelters influenced how she approached all her charitable work. She learned that the most meaningful help often happens quietly, away from cameras and acclaim. She discovered that people need to be seen, heard, and valued as much as they need material assistance. This approach influenced Diana's other work, with AIDS patients, landmine victims, sick children. In all these causes, Diana prioritized genuine human connection over publicity. She wanted to actually help people, not just appear to help them. William and Harry both cite their mother's homeless shelter work as influential. Harry has worked with homeless veterans and has spoken about his mother showing him that service means getting your hands dirty and spending time with people, not just writing checks. Centrepoint, the homeless charity Diana supported, has continued her legacy. William became patron after Diana's death, explicitly to honor his mother's commitment. The charity has helped thousands of young people escape homelessness. Why it matters. Diana's secret visits to homeless shelters matter because they show what genuine charity looks like. In a world where many wealthy and famous people do charity for image and tax benefits, Diana did it because she genuinely cared. She didn't need cameras or credit. She didn't use these visits for publicity. She risked her safety and gave up her time because homeless people needed someone to care about them, and she had the ability to do that. This was Diana at her most authentic, not the glamorous princess on magazine covers, but a woman in a wig and jeans, sitting on a shelter floor at midnight, listening to someone society had dismissed. Conclusion. The royal security asking, "Where is the princess?" and finding Diana in homeless shelters captures something essential about who she was. She used her freedom and privilege not for luxury or ease, but for service. She went where she was needed, even when, especially when, it wasn't comfortable or convenient. For years, while the world saw Diana at galas and official events, her most meaningful work was happening in secret. She was building relationships with homeless people, offering them dignity and attention, showing them they mattered. Diana kept these visits secret, not because she was ashamed, but because she understood publicity would ruin them. The moment cameras showed up, it would become about Diana instead of about the people she was trying to help. In the end, Diana's secret midnight missions to homeless shelters represent the very best of who she was: compassionate, genuine, willing to break rules and take risks to help people, and humble enough to do it all without seeking credit. The next time you see photos of glamorous Princess Diana at some royal event, remember, she might have been up past midnight in a homeless shelter, having just spent hours serving food and holding the hands of people the world had forgotten. That was the real Diana, and the world is better because she cared enough to keep that secret.